Okay, yeah.
Welcome
Sorry.
to okay. Welcome to Film Talk Weekly on KTRC. I'm Jacques Paisner, here with co-host Gary Farmer. Hey, Gary.
Hi, how are you? Scano Swagwego Negaso Hyan to us.
And we're joined by producer Lisette Bailey. Hey, Lisette.
Hey, everyone.
And today we're spending the hour with Crystle Lightning. And she's an actress, MC, DJ, somebody who's we've seen her talent really blossom just over the past few years, and we're excited to see so much more from her. Hi, Crystle.
Hey guys, how are you, Tanse? Really happy to be here. You got me out of my pajamas, looking homeless every day in this quarantine. So thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you, Krista.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking back. I haven't really seen you personally since, I used to go to your birthday parties. I think it was on Lancashire, was it? Or there was a place we always.
On Ventura Boulevard in Hollywood. Yeah, you went to my 21st birthday. My 21st birthday. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God! And you're like 22 now, or was that a long time
23.
ago? 23. Wow. But you're really, I always thought of you as like, me going to Los Angeles and visiting with your family and all, and you were like the perfect Valley girl. Kind of moved to Edmonton. Are you in like near Edmonton, or you're on the
Yes,
ledge?
I'm in Edmonton now. A year and a half ago, I moved here after I gave birth to my son. We relocated because my husband Cloud, he got a really good job here in the city, and then also culturally, I want to be here for my boy for his first few years of life, to be near my people and his culture and everything. So, yeah, we're here after moving to LA when I was 9 years old. Grew up there my whole life, and now I'm back to my roots. So it feels good. Although
Yeah.
I miss the palm trees and the weather, I'm not going to lie. I cannot. This weather is it's snowing outside, and you have to shovel and plug your car in to actually start your car in the morning. Check that out. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. But I'm enjoying this journey. It's really cool.
And congratulations on the show.
Thank you.
I know Jacques and I have been watching. We got it on CW network here in Santa Fe. And how's your reaction to that? What's that whole experience been like? I mean, it's been pretty weird, I'm sure, too, but it must be really joyful.
Oh, you know what? I'll talk about like first my experience on the show was just absolutely incredible. I feel like this role of Maggie, I feel like I've been preparing my whole life to play someone like her, this multidimensional person who has a lot going on, and the fact that she's Indigenous, and the fact that it was an adaptation from a book was really, really cool. I fell in love with the story, the first 3 pages of reading Eden's book. And just to be able to play her was a dream come true. I mean, I finally got to really I've always felt like I want to show them that I can act. I'm not just like this cute girl or whatever playing the girlfriend. I'm like, come on, give me some meat, like I want to show you. And so I feel like I got like a 5-course meal playing this part, all kinds of different, things going on, like I said. And it was a blast. Plus, my mother, Georgina Lightning, plays my mom in the show, which was just amazing. And then my son, Kisik, the other thing that was incredible is that he was with me the whole time. He was only 2 months old. Like I found out I got the part when I was in the hospital, in the NICU with him for 21 days. And I got a call, and they said, the director is coming to Edmonton to meet you. And so I asked my nurses if I could like step out for an hour and go to Goodwill to buy an outfit, because I was like in the hospital, just gave birth like 5 days before, and went and met with her, and with my hospital bracelet on and everything. And so they didn't, that was so amazing that they knew that I was a new mom, and that they still believed that I could do this. And so Kisik was with me the whole time, and I was nursing him the whole time in between scenes. And he was actually in the second episode, in the flashback scene. If you haven't seen it, I go and I grab the the baby boy from Wade, and that's actually my boy, my real boy.
And we're talking, of course, about the novel originally by Eden Robinson called Son of a Trickster,
Yes.
and the series, which was produced in part by CBC and airs on CW Network here in Santa Fe on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. I think when the show airs, we'll be just around episode 8 or so. So we'll just have a couple of episodes to drum up some audience for you. I know, Jacques, you've enjoyed the show a lot.
Yeah, God, I just thought you were so great in it, Crystle. And I mean, there's a lot of things to love about the show. You know, it's wonderfully shot. It's a mystery in a lot of ways. And your character for me was kind of one of the most exciting things, you know, because you get to see you be a bad mom and get to see you, you know, be endearing, but at the same time selfish. So I think there was so many kind of ways that we got to see different parts of your ability through that that it was something extremely special. So I guess my question that I'm getting to is when you prepare for a role like that, do you know, tap into something? Do you meditate? How do you become that character?
Well, preparing for Maggie, I've my whole life I've kept this really special acting teacher that helped me have many breakthroughs. When I was studying at the Playhouse in Hollywood for 5 years, he helped me have this breakthrough where he said, you know what? Because I had some emotional blocks going on, and he's like, if you want to be a good actor, you have to be emotionally available. Like you have to be able to authentically pull those things out. And so I said, well, I do have. He goes, start putting all your pain and all of your uncomfortable experiences, all of the stuff, and put it in a file, you know. And so I've kept that file, and when I have to bring things out and go to some pretty dark places, it's there. I write, I write when I'm, going through hard things in life or whatever it may be, trauma from my past. I keep it because it's important for the work. So for Maggie, there's a lot going on with her. She has mental illness, if you will, or their voices. The audience thinks it's schizophrenia, but she's a witch. So she actually hears spirits. And on top of that, she's a broken woman. She's never had healing. She's been through transgenerational trauma. Her mother went to residential schools. For people who don't know what that is, it's a traumatic experience for anyone to go through. And so she passed that on to her daughter, and with Maggie. So Maggie is just a product of how she grew up, and she loves her son more than anything, but she doesn't know how to show him in the most healthy way. And so I think a lot of people can relate to that, So yeah, it was important for me to show the love for Jared, and that not she was just this, messed up mom who doesn't care in parties and everything. Like, why is she that way? She's like that for a reason. And so I feel like, plus Jared is so easy to love. I mean, he's such a sweetheart. He really is. The boy who plays my son. So yes, it was important for me for that love to come through her hardness, and why are people hard? Because they're in pain, so yeah, preparing for, depending on what scene it was, there was some pretty, like I said, some pretty dark places I had to go to. And I just went there. And
Do you want to talk a little bit more about the schizophrenia or the voices? Because I thought that we really got to see a lot of your range there. There's the scenes with your son, the scenes with your mother, and there's a lot of emotion there. But I think when you're doing the voices and kind of playing somebody, when you were doing that, I thought that's something that takes an actor really tapping into to some kind of real skill or a lot of practice beforehand. Or how does that work?
so for that, when I read the script and when I read the book, I knew that Maggie had some kind of thing going on, and I'm personally not schizophrenic. So in order to be authentic with that, I wanted to study it and really for people who are schizophrenic to believe that I could be that. So I went downtown, with my honey and checked out some people who had mental illness and just really went on the subway and just kind of, studied people. As an actor, you study human behavior, you watch people, you go through things, and I learned that way. I watched real schizophrenic people and people with mental illness, you know.
Crystal, I know your career, you started young. Maybe you can tell us some of those early experiences as a young actor. I think you started when you were 9 years old
I did.
out of
So
Los
funny.
Angeles. And
Yes, I was 9.
and I'm also curious about that transition. Is it this series, which is on now, was shot in Canada? Do you find a difference between American production and Canadian production?
Well, as far as the crew goes, I mean, I've worked with some really great crews and directors and, producers, but as far as like the unions go, yes, that's very different. Like SAG opposed to ACTRA is very different. The business side of it. So I'm learning all that because Trickster is actually the first Canadian production I've worked on. I've worked on American productions my whole life. So getting to know, but as far as the unions go, it's on set. It's pretty much the same. Like, you work a certain amount of hours and, all that stuff. But as far as this particular crew, it was just amazing. I mean, and another really awesome thing was that there was Indigenous people in every single department, which was like I'd never experienced that before. So that was really neat.
Yeah, we
And
should
then yes,
mention that a little bit about where you're from and who those people are. Maybe you can explain a bit.
I'm from the Cree Nation, Muskekasik Enoch Cree Nation, and it's here in Alberta. So Alberta is right above Montana and the Northern Plains, and so yeah, this is where my people are from, and I'm back. I'm back. It's so funny you mentioned 9 years old. So 9 years old, I did my first movie when we just moved to LA. I had my first audition a month after we get to Los Angeles, and I'm 9, and it was for this movie called Three Ninjas Knuckle Up. And my friend actually sent me a clip of this yesterday in my inbox, and I just was like, oh my god, look at this little peanut. I was so little. My little voice, like, oh my god, I couldn't believe it. Just took me back to my first experience on a movie set, just moving to California at 9. And it was I just fell in love with it, at that, in that particular part.
Let's take a look.
You're listening to Film Talk Weekly on KTRC, and we're talking with Crystle Lightning. We'll be back after this.